Guys, welcome to Trigonometry Part 3. We're going through some shading rules. Alright, let's begin. They've given us two equations and we're going to shade the area in between them. So we've got one which is x squared plus y squared is less than or equal to 9. And we've also got one which says 2x plus y is greater than or equal to 2. Alright? So we know first off from this one's going to be a circle. Because as we know from our other one, which is x minus a squared y minus b squared is equal to r squared. Alright? Okay? So that one's going to be pretty simple. We just get square root of 9, which we already know is going to be equal to 3. So we've got our radius straight away. Now in here, it's not giving us an A or a B, because it's already simplified it, which is going to mean that A and B are equal to 0. So your coordinates of the center of the circle is going to be 0 to 0. Okay, so that's pretty simple. Okay, so now we've got our coordinates, we draw up our graph. I'll rub this out to make it a little bit more room for us. There we go. Alright, so as I said before, it's going to be in the center because we don't have any other values there. It's already been simplified out. Alright, and this is less than or equal to. Now, if it was just less than, then you'd have a dotted line, and then you'd have the stuff going on the left side. But because it's less than or equal to, we have to do a bold line. So you may know that already. Okay. It's kind of similar to the open circle and closed circle rules on number lines and stuff like that. Alright. Okay. First off, we know that our radius is 3, so mark out a radius of 3 from all points. So you put 3 minus 3 on these points, and you got positive 3 and positive 3 on these points. And you just draw your circle out like that. Preferably you'd use like a compass or something to make sure it's accurate. But here it just says sketch it, so I don't think it needs to be that accurate for what we're doing. We can always fix it up afterwards. Alright, so now I've got our nice little circle there, and since it's less than, it's going to be on the inside. If it was greater than, then it would be on the outside. So we've got less than, so then we can just lightly shade in there. Don't shade in too much, because you're going to know that this isn't the actual shaded area that we want. This is just for our mind, because we want to find the shaded area of these two together. Okay, so we've got this, and this entire circle, including this black line, is the values that we're looking at. Alright, next we have 2x plus y is greater than or equal to 2. Okay? So when you write that out, we want it to look more like 2x plus y is equal to 2. That way we can get our mind around it, and then we can put in greater than, less than, equal to afterwards. So 2x plus y is equal to 2. And that's pretty simple. We can just plot that on there. But I want to evaluate a little bit more first. So we get y is equal to minus 2x plus 2. Alright, here straight away we know that that's our y-intercept. So our y-intercept is going to be 2. So mark out 2 on there. Maybe I should use a different colour. Anyway, mark out 2 on there, and we know our gradient is going to be minus 2. Alright? From your knowledge from before, you're going to know that these two regions, the first quadrant and the third quadrant, counts anti-clockwise. These two quadrants are going to be positive, because this one's positive and positive, this one's negative and negative. So when they're together, these values are going to be along the positive line. It's going to be a positive gradient. But when you got this minus 2, you got plus and minus and plus and whatever in these ranges. So you're going to be going on a gradient that's going from here to here instead of like that. Okay, so minus 2, that's pretty simple. So we'll think of a value in our head. Let's say we want x to be, minus 1. That's pretty simple. So minus 2 times minus 1, easy, it's going to be positive 2. Okay, now we've got 1 point there. I think we should put another point just to be safe. Okay, minus 3 times minus 2 is going to equal, see if we can fit that all up there, positive 6. There we go. Alright, now that we got that there, we can roll the line through, making sure that we cut the 2, because the 2 is the intercept. That's where it helps to make sure that your measurements are quite accurate. Okay, so you got your 2 intercepts, and just make sure you double check that that is going to be on a negative gradient. So say like 2 should be minus 4, and that's equal. Yep, seems about right. Alright, and now that you've got that, you just have to shade the area in which these both overlap. So normally if it would just be greater than 2, so you put it back in, this line's the 2x plus y is equal to 2. So normally if it's just greater than, you just put that with the dotted line. Because it's greater than or equal to, you have a straight line, and you shade it out like that. But because we've got 2 overlaps, we're kind of just interested in this little part here. So this is the actual shaded area that we're looking at. And that's the answer to the question.